Welcome to Earth and Kind Quests. My name is Mike, and this video shares about 6 questions that I ask when building a Gish character in Dungeons & Dragons. This classic fantasy theme blends weapons skills with magic features. The term Gish appeared in the 1981 Fiend Folio, referring to a GIF with the equivalent of multi-classing as a fighter and magic user. Given the prevalence of magic in Dungeons & Dragons, nearly any character could be a Gish, a spellsword, or another variation of a magical warrior in one way or another. Some options are more effective than others. When I want to build a Gish type of character, then I start with 6 questions. Number 1. Will this character be inspired, at least partially, by someone or something in a book, television show, movie, video game, or another source material? I do not try to replicate specific pre-existing characters in their entirety. Rather, I might describe that a character resembles a Jedi or a Sith in the Star Wars franchise, yet something about this character is different. I might describe that a character could be like a student training at a magical school, such as at the fantasy setting of the television series Alchemy of Souls, channeling magic through a weapon. Often I begin with this kind of inspiration or with a fusion of 2 or 3 concepts, and then a unique character will develop. Number 2. What variety of magic will the character use, referring to arcane, divine, or primordial magic? Arcane magic probably is the most popular, used by a wizard, sorcerer, warlock, eldritch knight fighter, or arcane trickster rogue. Technically, an artificer uses a kind of arcane magic as well. Divine magic typically would be for a cleric or a paladin. Primordial magic is associated with druids and rangers. A few of these subclasses arguably could use different varieties of magic, such as with a Way of the Elements monk or a celestial warlock. Number 3. What kind of weapon will this character use? A sword tends to be popular in the fantasy genre, but the weapon could be anything, including options of a longbow or unarmed combat. Number 4. How will this character use magic during a combat? Some characters will emphasize physical combat skills, such as an eldritch knight fighter using a sword or a spear while relying on limited magic for casting shield or maybe the jump spell. Other characters could use a weapon almost like a prop for channeling magic through it, such as when a blade singer stands at a distance, performing a blade song with a sword and launching fireballs or lightning bolts. Many other options can be explored between those 2 extremes, such as when a paladin will apply a divine smite to a melee attack, when a wizard or sorcerer will summon a shadow blade, or when any character might use the True Strike cantrip with any weapon. Number 5. How will this character develop with the choice of class and a subclass, including the possibility of a multi-class progression? For instance, a Jedi-inspired character could start as a paladin and then focus on the subclass of Oath of Devotion, interpreting the sacred weapon feature as a form of a lightsaber. Usually, I prefer a single class in order to maximize the level-up progress of a character. A multi-class always will involve a detour or slowing down of something, such as the ability score improvements, class features, or subclass features. In a few cases, though, the detour or slowing down could be counteracted by choosing specific feats, spellcasting, or other features. I like to consider what features will the character miss by detouring away from a single class progression, versus what features could be gained by multi-classing into a different class. In any case, the choice of a class and a subclass will define the overall scope of powers. Number 6. How will this character balance the ability scores for using a weapon and for using magic? Typically, a character can maximize one ability score. For instance, a paladin usually will invest primarily in strength for the most effective melee weapon attacks, and then invest secondarily in charisma for less effective spellcasting. A paladin often will prepare spells that do not rely so much on charisma as the spellcasting ability modifier, such as Bless, Cure Wounds, or Divine Favor. A few options are available to circumvent the competition between ability scores, such as when using the 2024 version of the cantrip True Strike, the Druid cantrip of Shillelagh, or the Warlock invocation of the Pact of the Blade. These options allow for using the spellcasting ability modifier instead of strength or dexterity for a weapon attack. In another video, I will apply this approach with characters competing in a duel at a spellsword academy. For instance, an Oath of Devotion paladin will fight against a light domain cleric. What are your thoughts and suggestions about building a Gish or a magical warrior type of character? What options have worked for you? What aspects would you like to explore more? Please share in the comment section. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.